Man, last night during Dark MAGA, I just think we had too much fun. We had a lot of people join us. We were highlighted on the editor's list last night, which means we got thousands of views. A lot of people taking a glance at the Bald Brad Show, specifically the Dark MAGA podcast. And it was on another level. And I got to tell you, folks, I get so giddy. I am no different than Joe Biden kicking my feet in the sand of the beaches of Delaware on vacation on the taxpayer dime when I get to hang out with all you fine people. It's good to see you. Good morning, Patriots. And I'm glad you're able to join me this fine morning. And you chose us to get your news, which means, Brad, enough talking. Let's get into it, baby. Well, things aren't going well. And if you were with us last night, you have a former Russian president basically taking a shot over the bow of Donald Trump and raises specter of a World War III as rhetoric ramps up over Ukraine. This is not good. And by the way, if you're seeing this type of rhetoric on X, if you're seeing this type of rhetoric on social media, can you imagine what is being said behind closed doors? It's not good. So former President Dmitry Medvedev raised the specter of a World War III on Tuesday as the rhetoric between the White House and the Kremlin ramped up over the war in Ukraine. Medvedev, now a top security official, responding to President Donald Trump's post on Truth Social. And here is Dmitry's post itself on X. Regarding Trump's words about Putin playing with fire and really bad things happening to Russia, I only know of one really bad thing, World War III. I hope Trump understands this. Now, this could be taken in two different directions, saying, hey, you know what? If you want to send munitions to Ukraine, is that World War III? If we start bombing and going after Russians with just our aircraft, no boots on the ground in Ukraine, is that World War III? Not exactly sure here. I don't know if we'll find out. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to F around and find out with Russia because the guy's crazy over there. Vladimir Putin is psycho. This is a turn. This in turn drew an almost immediate rebuke from Trump's special envoy to Ukraine, where he had Kellogg, retired, it looks like lieutenant general, who called Medvedev's remarks reckless in a post on X, cautioning that Russia was stoking fears of another world war. Kellogg wrote that it was unfitting of a world power. Russia doesn't care at this point, and Russia knows they hold all the cards. And here's what Putin's thinking. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? The guy's psycho. He has no qualms, clearly, going against negotiations. He has no problem bombing civilians. So, well, what are we going to do about it? And you want to know our answer? Nothing. I mean, I have an answer for you prepared. Don't get me wrong. Of course I do, baby. I take care of you guys, don't I? Shh, I take care of you all. I told you it's a different show. It's a different show. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, I don't know what it is with all the Russians having the first name Dmitry, appeared to play down the tensions during a press briefing Wednesday, during which he thanked Trump personally for his efforts. So on one hand, you got this guy saying, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then the other end, you got this other guy going, yeah, you know, we appreciate Trump. He's a good guy. Yeah, he has a bunch of real estate, bunch of money. We like him. It's like good cop, bad cop over there, huh? But he said at the same time, there are a lot of nuances based on the national interests, which cannot be sacrificed and which neither side will sacrifice. While Putin has never raised the specter of world war, he has broached the use of nuclear weapons on several occasions since he launched his invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Now you might be asking, well, what's our tactic here? What's the game plan? What is Trump cooking up? Well, it's not necessarily Trump. It's mostly Congress, believe it or not. And this is really unified. I know it's weird. What I'm about to say is actually odd for us. It's supposed to happen, but it doesn't happen all too often. Congress is actually unified in this. There's a bipartisan proposal that could bring the pain to Vladimir Putin, baby. So what's the game plan here? Well, let me break it down for you. President Donald Trump signaled over the weekend that he is seriously weighing tougher sanctions on Russia over its years-long war against Ukraine, a potential move backed by a bipartisan Senate supermajority. I know some of you just spit out your coffee. You almost passed up. Like, what? We almost don't even know that word anymore. Super majority. What that mean? What that mean? I don't know what that mean at all. Well, super majority eager to force Moscow's hand as peace negotiations falter. Excuse me. In a Sunday exchange with reporters, Trump said he is absolutely considering new sanctions on Russia hours after he blasted Russian President Vladimir Putin. The rebuke stretched into Tuesday with Trump warning that Putin is playing with fire. We saw the response from Russia, the good cop, bad cop. A coalition, here we go. Here's your super majority of 81 senators led by Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal has rallied behind a bill to slam Russia with fresh, brewing, most beautiful sanctions you've ever seen in your life. I had Elon look at it. I said, Elon, what do you think? He goes, it's beautiful. If Moscow refuses genuine peace talks with Ukraine or launches new attacks threatening Ukraine's sovereignty post-agreement. Here's the legislation, what it proposes. A 500% tariff on any goods from nations buying Russian oil, gas, uranium, or other commodities. Folks, we looked at the bill a tiny bit yesterday. I mean, this goes into, well, why don't we just take a little peeky? Let's just take a little peek. Let's look under the hood just a little bit here. Okay, just a little bit. This is imposing sanctions on certain any persons affiliated with supporting the government of the Russian Federation. You got sanctions with respect to financial institutions affiliated with the Russian Federation. You got sanctions with respect to other entities owned by or affiliated with the Russian Federation. You got transfers of funds involving the Russian Federation. You got limiting or trading. You got, again, a prohibition of prohibition on listing or trading Russian entities on the securities exchange. Wow. Investments by United States financial institutions, prohibition on that. Prohibition on energy exports to and investments in energy sector of Russia. Prohibition of purchase of sovereign debt from Russia. Prohibition, I believe that's, and I could be getting this wrong, Russia has to fund this thing. And one way to fund it is, hey, we borrow money from people for a war. Well, no buying, I mean, it's kind of messed up, but no buying money from Russia. And what I mean by messed up is, I think it would be messed up if you're buying money from a country that invaded another country that you're not even a citizen of said country. Like, why are you putting your hand in the pot? Prohibition of provision of services to sanctioned financial institutions. Prohibition of importing and sanctions with respect to uranium. There you go. And, well, there's a bunch of other stuff. So we'll see if they actually do it. We'll see if they pull the trigger. Actually, do it now. Well, what's the big deal? Hey, the guy wants to F around and find out. Let's choke him out. Choke him out. I mean, this is really what it's doing. Is if you're truly united, like the European Union, look at NATO, NAFTA, everybody, just get everybody in the mix with all the agreements. Everybody's in kumbaya together. Everybody band together, put the most pressure you possibly can on Russia through sanctions and just cripple them. Don't do any trade with them. Don't even look at them. And that's it. Now, all that's going to do is piss Putin off, and Putin most likely will just escalate the issue. That's also the problem. Again, you're dealing with a crazy guy. So we also have this going forward. Chuck Grassley, a co-signer of the Graham-Blumenthal bill, which we just kind of looked at the notation of, argued Tuesday that sanctions are now critical. I believe President Trump was sincere when he thought his friendship with Putin would end the war. And I believe that too. I think Trump thought he had this in the bag. I had a good relationship with him, but he doesn't understand that Putin, Xi, all these leaders, all they are just a bunch of con artists. They're two-faced assholes is what they are. That's all they are. And you can't trust them. Should have never trusted them. And I think Trump, as a guy that's so big on loyalty, when somebody doesn't show you loyalty, I don't think Trump likes that at all. Clearly, they don't like you, Trump. They don't want to be friends. Here's the thing. Trump thinks that these people want to be friends with them. They don't want to be friends with them. Truthfully, they actually don't even like him. They're just pretending to get along with him. And they pretended to get along with him in this first term because they really didn't know how crazy Trump was. Well, Trump, again, has showed a lot of his cards. He showed a lot of his hand when his first presidency took place. That after all the interviews and everything he said about wanting peace, he doesn't want war, but I'll do it. He's never actually done it. That's the problem. And remember how I said early on, if Donald Trump continues this type of messaging of, I'll blow the shit out of you, but doesn't actually blow the shit out of anybody. You know, that's a really rough way that I phrased that now that I think about it. That's what she said. Let me go ahead and rephrase that. Trump shouldn't be blowing anybody. That's my bad. Okay, it's morning. You forgive me? You guys forgive me? You're going to come back? You're going to come back to my show, right? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Trump bro, no one. Okay, Trump bro, no one. All right. Okay, we're back. We're back. And scene. Trump needs to Trump needs to bomb somebody here. Trump needs to do something where, well, but this is tough. This is really tough. I'm navigating a stream here. I'm navigating a road that's really tight. You get what I'm saying. You understand. The Democrats don't. But my followers, my listeners, the bald Brad Army, baby, we get it. But I said that was going to be a problem, did I not? You can't just keep threatening people and not doing anything. At some point, you have to do something so people know you're not fucking around. Sorry to cuss, but that's the best way to put it. I mean, that's the F around, find out part, right? So we're going to see what happens with that. Obviously, I'll keep you updated on all of that as time goes on here. We'll see if there's any updates actually currently, because here's an update for you. NATO readies for war. President Trump took public shots against Vladimir Putin, calling him crazy, which you just saw, just what we just saw and covered. We are really grateful to the Americans and President Donald Trump, was the response from the Kremlin. That clearly angered Trump, who issued a new statement Tuesday with a clear threat that things would get really bad. And a number of reports from the White House suggested the president could roll out new sanctions, but existing sanctions have essentially cut off all trade between the United States and Russia. Yeah, but where's our allies at in all this? Who is still trading with the Russians? Now, obviously, China would still trade with them. North Korea, whatever they're pumping out, which is just dirt, I guess. Iran, maybe Syria, not exactly sure. New sanctions would have to target countries doing business with Moscow. That kind of just shoots ourselves in the foot a little bit. How about you tell those other countries to stop trading with Russia if they're so much against it? However, some experts believe that the Russian war machine is robust enough to weather further Western sanctions. So here's a little bit of an update. The Russian economy is relatively stable. A former defense intelligence analyst and author of Putin's playbook told the Daily Wire, Russia produces in 3 months more military hardware than the entire NATO alliance produces in 1 year. Putin transitioned his military and economy on a wartime footing a decade ago in 2015. We'll see if that's actually true or not. We'll see. I mean, time will tell, right? Time will tell, but it's easy for us to say all these things. I mean, we're all sitting in our homes or at work while these guys are freezing their asses off out there in the field taking grenades. You know, dying left and right. Over what? Soil? I mean, think about all the millions of people that have died over human history for dirt. Dude, it riles me up. I hate it. I hate it. Not the women that necessarily, I know it's a new thing, but throughout human history, it's always been men that had to go fight this shit. And I think a lot of us men are tired of fighting. Okay? We just want peace and quiet. I'm going to cuss right now, so if you want to mute it, you know, if I'm on loudspeaker, I should always be on loudspeaker. I'm kidding. I'm fucking tired of it. Men just want their peace and quiet. You want everybody to shut the fuck up around them, allow us to drink our beer, look at our women. All right. Notice I said, look, I'm a married man. Careful, ladies. You too, Dizzy. But in all seriousness, we just want peace and quiet, man. We want to be left alone. And we're look, yeah, like we like to get rough and tough, but damn, we just want to be left the hell alone. God. And the sad thing is it's men sending men in the war. You know what I mean? It's not like the women are doing it. I can't blame them. All righty. Well, we got Trump versus Harvard happening here. Here we go. Updates. On Tuesday, the Trump administration directed federal agencies to terminate $100 million in remaining contracts with Harvard, citing its failure to address anti-Semitism and promote national interest. This is the latest development in an ongoing feud between the White House and America's oldest university. Anti-Semitism to Harvard University, just so you know, is worth millions. Sorry, no, I should take that back. Billions of dollars. They were willing to forfeit billions of dollars so they could be anti-Semitic and treat Jews improperly on college campuses. That's how wild these college campuses have gone. I'm telling you, college hasn't been worth it for quite some time. By the way, you would be a fool to send your kid to any of the Ivy Leagues nowadays. Oh, it's going to help them get a job. So is them going to a state school. There's no difference. When I was a public accountant, I went to Cal State Long Beach. All these other guys in my office went to all these great schools, USC, UCLA, Berkeley, Cal. Some of them were from Ivy Leagues. And guess what? I was working in the same office, the same cubicle right next to the guy. I paid dirt cheap money for my college education. And I got the same exact job they did with the same exact pay, work at the same exact office. And guess what? They were swimming in debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And Brad over here is going, I'm partying it up. Let's go to happy hour. Who wants to pop off with me? It's a true story, by the way. I'm not even kidding. That's why it frustrates me how these high schools push all this stuff. Oh, go to Ivy League. Go to these expensive colleges. Drive yourself into debt. What a stupid thing to tell people. And the suckers believe it. The suckers believe it. College is crap. They don't teach you anything. I would know. I got a master's degree too. Didn't learn anything. Oh, why'd you get a master's degree, Brad? I got reasons for it. Right now is not the time. I'll tell you later. This is the latest development in an ongoing feud between the White House and America's oldest university, which is the span of about a month, has attempted to cut billions of dollars in federal grants to Harvard and restrict its ability to admit foreign students. Last Friday, a federal judge in Boston issued a temporary restraining order stopping Trump. It's amazing how much they're just trying to hinder this guy from actually doing his job and doing the will of the American people. Stopping the Trump administration's attempt to block the enrollment of Harvard's international students. The policy would impact more than 7,000 foreign visa holders, about 30% of Harvard's student body. Harvard argues that the move by the Trump administration is a direct response to the university's refusal to comply with demands to have race-blind admissions and DEI programs and screen international students for alleged ties to terrorism or anti-Semitism. Harvard's president, Garber, told NPR that these actions threaten not just the university, but critical research. Now, here's my problem. I was actually talking to a buddy about this, about these foreign students coming into our universities, not just having part in this critical research, but remember, some of this research is for defense. Some of this research is obviously scientific. My issue with having foreigners come here is, if you're going to go to our university, then I think there needs to be a conversation that you're not able to go work for any foreign company. Like, you can only work for the United States, or something like that, because I don't want these people basically piggybacking off our college education system, going into these critical research facilities, and then taking whatever knowledge they have back to their home country, saying, "Yata, peace out, sucker! I got all your shit. I'm gonna take it now with me." So basically, we're helping advance other people's countries' defense capabilities, offense capabilities with weaponry, whatever it may be. Hell, I don't care. There's scientific advancement. I want to stay on top here. I don't really want these people coming over here and taking hold of our education and our knowledge and then taking it back to their home country and helping them out, but they're not willing to help us out, of which they got their education from. So I'm at a crossroads with it. I haven't fully decided yet. Get off me about it, okay? Figuring it out over here. You know what I love? Is we are so far different than any show that's on the internet right now that people come in here and go, what the hell did I just stumble upon? What did I just find? And you want to know what? The gold miners felt the same way. In 49, they felt the same way. Yep, they stumbled upon a bunch of gold. They're like, this is awesome. That's what you just stumbled upon. You stumbled upon a bunch of gold called the Bald Brad Show and the Bald Brad Army in the chat, baby, and you're welcome. And you're happy for it. You know you are. You're like, what the hell? This guy's crazy. It's morning. I needed this. I just got off cigarettes. This guy's my nicotine rush. They see this message as Garber said, if you don't comply with what we are demanding, these will be the consequences. Trump says he's considering directing Harvard funding to trade schools to develop the American workforce. No problem with this whatsoever. Why are we? Here's the thing. I love Trump. Again, I always brag about voting for him for 3 times. Okay. All right. What are you considering, brother? Just do it. By the way, there was no, when I read this sentence just now, because I haven't heard this before, there was no ounce of second thought in my mind about this. This is like a shoe-in, an obvious thing to do. Why are we funding? I don't know why we're funding them at all. They have like $50 billion or something like that in endowments. It's a private, Harvard's private, if I remember that correctly. I might be wrong, but I think it is. You know, have them figure it out. Have them figure it out. I didn't go to Harvard clearly, so I don't know if it's public or private, but it doesn't really matter. So Make America Healthy Again eyes pesticides. Here we go. At the federal and state levels, there are looming battles within the Republican Party over potential pesticide regulations. Some Republicans and the broader Make America Healthy coalition of activists want to see pesticides that have been banned in other countries, which are similarly prohibited in the United States. Others within the Republican Party say they are worried about farmers in their districts who rely on pesticides. I'm not going to bother reading it, which has caught the eye of Health and Human Services. And there have been reports about concerns from within the White House that the abrupt regulatory action could trigger supply chain issues. Well, maybe, probably. But if you do it right, you can let them know ahead of time, hey, this is when this stuff's going to be cut off. Here's some other options that you can utilize. Utilize those other options rather than, you know, let's be fair. The communication from the Trump administration has been kind of crap lately. And that's for various reasons, because they're trying to do so much that it's tough to get everybody together, have one singular message and go, okay, we're going to do this. Now, should that be a thing? Absolutely. But Donald Trump's not running the White House like that right now. In the same way, he's running it more similar to how Ronald Reagan ran it, where you had a bunch of people, you put those bunch of people in positions that they should be in, and you let them go do their damn job, and you let them manage their own damn thing rather than freaking hovering over their shoulder all the time. You let them do their thing. Well, when you do that, when everybody's off doing their own thing, there's going to be a lack in communication. And that lack of communication goes all the way down to something like this, where you could do this wisely and say, hey, you know what? We'll give them some time. Here are a bunch of different options of pesticides that you can utilize. It's something that's going to work for your area. And this is what we're going to do. We ingest 25% of the world's pesticides in the United States, means said at an Axios event. Other countries across the world have chosen to phase many leading American pesticides out or ban them, calling them carcinogenic and disruptive to kids. Well, maybe that's why we got so many autistic kids running around. And I'm not trying to be an a-hole about it. I'm just merely saying that stat, that RFK Jr., when he said it was like 1 in 32 kids or something like that are autistic, I was drinking a cup of coffee on the couch. This is a true story. I almost spit out my coffee. I said, there's no way in hell that statistic's true. I thought the guy was bullshit. I'll tell you what, I didn't think that was legit. I look over at my wife in the kitchen. I said, is that real? And she did psychology. I'm going to get in trouble. Fuck it. We're doing it live, boys. We're getting crazy. But in all seriousness, I don't know where the hell I was at right now. I'm just Brad's getting in trouble. Just kidding. No, really. The 1 in 32, I said, is that real? Is that like a real stat? And I looked it up. It's legit. It's legit. That's wild, man. I don't know. So I guess, you know, how many of us in here are autistic? Let's take a look here really quick. Is George in here? All right, let's get into some illegal immigration news here. We're going to meet the mortgage company enabling illegal immigrants to buy American homes. Lovely. But remember, we were told by Karine Jean-Pierre / Sideshow Bob, the mouthpiece of the former leader of the free world that couldn't speak for himself because, quite frankly, he could barely speak, said none of this was happening. There's no supply-demand issues regarding illegal immigration because there's so few illegal immigrants in our country, even though There's more illegal immigrants in our nation right now than the population of half of our states. But don't worry, I had no problems. It's just a situation, right? According to the Biden administration, it was just a challenge. Come on. A challenge they never accepted in a situation they never solved. After decades of mass illegal immigration in the United States, untold millions of illegal aliens have settled through the country, competing with Americans for government benefits, jobs, and now for homes. And these leftist psychos are like, it's not having any impact at all. They're just trying to live a good life. While they're raping your kids, they're killing them, murdering them, sending their money back to their home country. A lot of it's drug money, prostitution. They're forcing children into forced labor, which is slavery, by the way. Sex trafficking. They lost 340,000 children in Joe Biden's administration. Just disappeared. Don't know where they went. Not a big deal. We'll figure it out later. Maybe they'll come back. We got enough milk cartons to put people's faces on. It's just something stupid. You know, Biden, Democrats, bunch of idiots. It's so bad here in the state of California that they're giving out free health care to illegal aliens. And Gavin Newsom, the nut job, goes, I didn't know people. I didn't think so many illegal immigrants were here and they would tap into our healthcare system. They didn't have healthcare before. You're offering said healthcare for free. Why would they not take the free healthcare? Because he's dumb. Sometimes it's not anything sophisticated. He's just an idiot. And it's what Democrats do. They elect idiots and they elect dumb people. And when they don't elect dumb people, they elect lazy people. And you want to know who's dumb and lazy, which is a remarkable thing to have both at the same time, a wombo combo? They did it with Joe Biden. Really a remarkable vote over the last 4 years that we had to deal with. And here's how dumb it is. They were going to vote for him again. For most illegal aliens, obtaining a mortgage from a traditional bank without a social security number or a credit card is nearly impossible. But as millions of illegal aliens flooded the country, Joe Biden, and I said this, did I not say the guy is a businessman? Joey is one of the greatest businessmen that's ever existed in this country. He created billions of dollars for industries. The drug industry, there's never been anyone greater. Sex trafficking, never been anyone greater. Drug trafficking, never been anyone greater. I mean, the guy has really started, I hate to say it, Biden was a better businessman than Donald Trump ever was. He's better than Rockefeller. The guy killed it. He birthed new industries that never existed. So when the Democrats come out saying, no, he's great, he's a businessman, he does amazing things, they would be right with Joe Biden. Yeah, he created tons of business. It's just none of it for Americans. But as millions of illegal aliens flooded the country, a new industry has cropped up to capitalize on the new customer base, selling financing catered to the illegal population. Here we go. One entity at the forefront of this industry, a Daily Wire investigation has revealed, is Prisma Lending. Is it Prisma? It's Prisma, right? It's like Burisma Holdings, but it's Prisma Lending. See what they did there? Which has given out more than, $1 billion in loans in red and blue states alike as it blatantly targets illegal aliens. Trump pledged to ban mortgages for illegal aliens on the campaign trail, and his administration took action in March to prevent government-backed mortgages from going to illegal aliens. Isn't that a remarkable thing that it's something that you even had to do? That you even had to think of doing? It just shows how corrupt our government is. They're not for the will of the American people. But Prisma is one of several companies, including Colony Ridge, the Texas development that the Daily Wire exposed as a magnet for illegal aliens, that uses a different financial tactic, that it isn't impacted by the administration's recent rule change, which specifically targeted loans backed by Federal Housing Administration. The company prides itself on empowering the Latino community to achieve ownership. So you're all getting screwed here because of these companies, by the way, if you're looking into maybe housing. By the way, it's not just housing. You're getting, we're all getting screwed. Your healthcare premiums are going up because they're tapping into your healthcare system. Your taxes will probably go up in some way, shape, or form because they're tapping into the system. I mean, everything is going up because you have 20 million people here that are demanding the same services as you are, and you're having to compete with other people that should never be here in the first place, competing against you. So they get to cheat while you're trying to follow the law. And guess who gets screwed? Those that follow the law and the benefit of those that are cheating. Gee, it sounds a lot like how Democrats function, right? We're going to give all the criminals all the weapons and guns, but we're going to take away those that are following the law. We're going to take away their firearms, so we get reamed in the ass by those that have the guns illegally. Gotcha. No, the logic is sound. It works real well. No, it's thrilling. It's great. It makes a lot of sense, except it doesn't. Who elects these people, honestly? You know what I mean? Do you ever just wonder the people that are walking in to these booths? What the fuck, man? Like, who are they? The company prides itself on empowering the Latino community. Oh, okay. Helping the Latino community because she realized how unfairly minorities were treated. Well, how about the Americans that are supposed to be here that, want to buy houses themselves? How about helping that community because that's the one you pledged allegiance to? Hello? You pledged your allegiance as an American citizen to the United States of America, not to people coming from other countries. Don't get me going. I'm not doing a rant. I know you guys want one. And we've been long overdue for a rant. It's been a long time since I lost my shit. I've been really good. It's kind of like that counter. Maybe we should start a counter where days Brad has gone without losing his shit live on air. I don't know how many days we're up to now, but it came this close from turning the zero. I'll tell you that. It came this freaking close. I almost lost it. I almost started swinging just shit. But Prisma. Are you guys still here? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? I'm telling you, it's my favorite thing in the world because I know I said this earlier on in the show. There's new people that are joining us and they're going, what the fuck is going on? Who are these people? And by the way, you're with me, guys. So, you know what I mean? If you're coming from my show, they're like, who the fuck are these crazy people? We're the Bald Bread Army, baby. This is the only show that brings you this amount of energy in the morning. And you know what? I will put that to the test, by the way. Go find a morning show that starts at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that brings you this kind of energy, baby. You're not going to find it because nobody's as crazy as me. Go find it. Go try. Good luck. Good luck. We'll be here when you come back because you ain't going to find it. Alrighty, we're going forward with this. But Prisma revealed that its business model relied on illegal aliens, in particular when it hosted a webinar with an immigration lawyer to answer their customers' questions about the risk of deportation in the days following President Trump's administration. The company is evidently concerned that its clientele could be deported, or at least that potential customers could be dissuaded from buying a home in a country that they fear they could be removed from. Well, if you weren't illegal, why would you ever ask that question in the first place? Because they are illegal. And here's the question. Why on God's green earth would you, one, even offer a loan to an illegal immigrant? You know the risk involved in that for a home, by the way. And then second of all, why would you take that risk at all with an illegal immigrant, knowing that there's a good chance they could be deported? I mean, what are you going to do? Fly back and go get your money from the other country that now they reside in? I don't think so. They have reason to be worried. The Connecticut-based company's website is checkered with explicit appeals to illegal aliens, allowing it to corner a market that doesn't have access to the same financial tools as American citizens and legal residents. God, it's wild how many people go against the United States that live here in the United States, that go against the benefit of Americans. It really is head spinning. And we got a mega problem on our hands. And again, I might as well plug it because we got a lot of people here. I need to plug this more. I'm getting old. We wrote a book, damn it. It's called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Links are in the description. You go to baldbrad.com, get yourself a copy. But in all seriousness, I wrote this book. It's a real book. There's real stuff in here. I wrote this book because it's a book that I would want to read. And I believe it, actually. I believe that there's ideas, there's people in this country that are going to destroy it from the inside out. And it's, by the way, this came out in 2023. This book is still relevant, as if it was written yesterday. That's why I wrote it too. The thing is timely, baby. It is timely. All right, let's get into some other news here. If you weren't here earlier, we talked about World War III already and Putin ringing one off the bow, basically. We're jumping into other stuff here. Here's one that pissed you guys off. You ready? This one I might rant about. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I've been good, boy. I've been good. All right, actually, I got to take a moment here because I might actually lose my shit on this one. When it comes to kids and people fucking around with them, I'm sorry to cuss. You see, I'm already getting ramped up and I've only read the title. Like, show us, Brad. Give me a second, all right? Come on. Give daddy a second. So you're like, don't ever say that again. Okay, all right. You know, we got to try some things new. Not everything works. Hey, there you go. Father's Day idea. I love that. See, you guys have my back. Great gift idea for Father's Day. You know, we'll plug it in. I like that. By the way, I just want to let you guys know we did sell out on Amazon. They had to print new copies. So people are liking it. I think 5 stars, man. If you bought it, can you write us a review, please? Thank you. It helps us rank. Right here. Looks like this. You see my greasy fingerprints all over it. Jeez, Louise, clean your hands, you sicko. All righty. All right, here we go. I told you to buckle up. There's a lot of people that listen to me at work. I'm just finding this out now. So what I'm trying to do is learn from that and through words are difficult for me. Describe what we're doing here and what we're looking at. What's going on, Jericho? Good morning. Parents sound alarm on YMCA camps. Here we go. Allowing boys and girls showers and cabins. As kids prepare to head off to summer camp, a conservative group is warning parents that their daughters may not be safe at YMCA facilities across the country. The American Patriots Coalition on Wednesday urged parents to beware that the YMCA determines access to overnight cabins, locker rooms, and showers on the basis of gender identity. Did we not say this was coming years ago? I want to point this out because we have a lot of new viewers, so you're going to hear me repeat myself quite a bit. We covered stuff like this so much when we had like 100 subscribers. I know we have over 100,000 now. Thank you, by the way, again. Even when we had 100 subscribers, we're going so hard in the paint on this every single day, multiple videos every single day, that Project Veritas highlighted our channel with 100. That's even they were following us going, where's this guy getting all this stuff from? Where's this guy getting all his information from? Maybe I'm on the inside, baby, and it's called the education system, and I know what's going on because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen and heard things. The coalition says that YMCA facilities may not inform parents that boys could be bunking or showering with female campers, raising safety and privacy concerns. You think? Wild. They never want to inform you guys. They always want to keep y'all in the dark because they're psychos. Anybody that wants to keep a parent in the dark about what's going on with their children is a psycho and a sicko and a weirdo. Remember, but we're the weird people, right? Not these psycho lefties roaming the streets doing weird thing to your kids all the time. All the time. They're always going after the kids. I don't know what the hell happened to that party. I don't know where and when the Democrats jumped off the cliff and started paragliding in a gay way, going, let's just go after kids. Woo! Freaking weird, man. I told you I might rant. Parents deserve the truth. Yes. Especially when it involves the possibility that their children could be put in a situation where they are expected to share private spaces with members of opposite sex. This is insane. It's insane. I know. It's like I'm your thoughts. You know what I mean? You've already thought that before. And it's like I'm your conscience saying the exact same thing that you just probably said in your mind. That's how connected we are. We're like that movie Avatar, except we're not connecting with our tails. Stop it with the sexual jokes. I'm tired of it. Well, nationally, the YMCA recommends that all campers. Oh, here we go. Oh. All campers and staff have access to facilities that are aligned with their gender identity and comfort within facility and resource limitations. Oh, goody. You know, that's how they talk too, right? somebody you just want to slap the shit out of because you're so tired of them talking like that. Like, why don't you talk like a fucking normal human being? All campers, absolutely, have staff access to facilities aligned with their gender identity. We're inclusive. We're inclusive here at Camp YMCA. Everybody do it with me, YMCA. You just want to be like, shut. The recommendations also suggest including gender identity individuals in camp marketing. Oh, really? YMCA camps and facilities across the country have adopted these guidelines, allowing females to be exposed to males in bathrooms or bunk with a person of the opposite sex. Oh, perfect. You're just trying to sleep and you feel the flashlight come on. Hey, what is that? Can you stop poking me in the back? Lovely. For example, Camp Olson in Longville, Minnesota, says access to facilities is based on gender identity, not sex. Now you got to worry about your kid going to camp nowadays. I mean, you really can't do anything anymore with your kids. No wonder they don't go out and fucking play. Can you blame them? Access to gendered spaces, restrooms, overnight accommodations should be based on gender identity. Sex assigned at birth, physical characteristics, or presentation should not indicate the use of gendered space. Trans individuals may select either bathroom, of course. Of course. Oh, yeah, they're just there to go to the bathroom, not there to go after your daughter or your son, even though it happens. Requiring someone to use a bathroom or other gendered space or the gender they do not identify can be detrimental to an individual's well-being and safety and puts Camp Olson at risk for discrimination complaints. You got to love how the left always say, oh, well, it's only like 0.5% of people you're talking about who are trans that want to use the other sex's bathroom. What's the problem? Well, what's the problem of them using the bathroom that they use their entire fucking life? Why is that a problem? Well, they don't belong in that bathroom. No, they do belong in that bathroom. Biologically, they belong in that bathroom. If they want to wear a women's skirt, dress, wig, whatever, and walk into a men's bathroom, all the alpha males are going to be like, what the hell's going on here? But you should be using that bathroom. I'm not willing to sacrifice the possible rape of a young girl because you want to use the bathroom and make us try to play into this fictitious reality that you've created for yourself and now forcing all of us to play into. I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. You might be willing to do it because you go, well, it's only 0.5%. I'm not willing to do that. They will, because they don't care. These are the same people that want to, again, allow men in women's bathrooms. They want to allow men to play in women's sports and get their asses kicked. I mean, it's odd that the Democrat Party's for just the abuse of women left and right. But remember, believe all women, stand up for the women. You've done more degradation against the women apparatus, the whole of the institution, whatever you want to call it, than any other party system out there in the world. I mean, modern feminism is just a fucking joke, isn't it? Somebody has to say it. The policy adds that if a female is uncomfortable using the same facility as a male identifying as a female, then the female should use an alternative space. Oh. It's like what I just said. No one should be required to use an alternative restroom because they are trans. You know how this could be interpreted? Say your little girl wants to go to the bathroom. And a guy walks into that bathroom. The guy doesn't have to leave. You know, the one with the problem in the head that thinks they're a woman, dressed up, wearing their high heels and everything. Yeah, they don't have to leave. Your fucking daughter has to leave. I'm sorry to be cussing so much, but I'm pissed now. Yeah, they have to leave. Not the one that's delusional. They don't have to leave. This is a problem that we have in society right now, is that we play into other people's delusions. You wouldn't do this with somebody that is, I don't know, bulimic or anorexic, would you? Hey, oh, you're too fat. Oh yeah, you gotta lose more weight. Yeah, you should keep throwing up. Yeah, you shouldn't keep that down. Oh, you're too big. Right in their skin and bones, you look like a Holocaust victim. Why not play into that? Why? They don't have an answer for you, by the way. I've talked to them. I've tried to debate them. They don't have an answer for it. Schizophrenic people, why do you give them medication? Those are real voices and real people. They hear them. What do you mean? They have conversations. You can't tell them otherwise. Why not play into a schizophrenic's delusions? Why not? I don't see the problem with it. We're playing into their delusions here, the trans people. I mean, they can be shapeshifters. I mean, it's a mythological thing. It's paranormal. It's supernatural. Can't happen, but we're supposed to play into it. So why shouldn't we just play into everybody's delusions? And why even have psychiatric hospitals in the first place and just allow everybody to walk around aimlessly and act like crazy people? It's always the ones that have done nothing wrong that are always the ones that have to receive the penalty of doing the wrong of somebody else. If that makes sense. Crazy, man. It is freaking. Who would have thought that this would be the times that we live in, huh? Here we go. We got Canada in the news again. This is breaking right now. Let me make sure this doesn't play for us. Here we go. Trump claims Canada's considering offer of free Golden Dome in exchange for being 51st state. I don't know. I don't think this is true. I'm going to say this again because I think there's people listening on audio that are like, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what you just said. I heard 51st state in exchange. Are we buying Canada now? Maybe. President Donald Trump, either that or he's trolling, he's pissing the Canadians off again. Either way, it's awesome. Who knew the Canadians could get so pissed off so easily from Donald Trump? You got to love it. President Donald Trump reported on Tuesday that Canada was considering, oh my God, giving up its statehood in exchange for protection by the proposed Golden Dome missile defense system at no cost. Canadian officials repeatedly stating that the country is not for sale. I told Canada, which very much wants to be a part of our fabulous Golden Dome system, that it will cost $61 billion if they remain a separate but unequal, I want that said clearly for the fake news nation, but will cost $0, zero, ZERO, if they become our chair. He actually said it. If they become our 51st state, they are considering the offer, he claimed. Could you imagine, dude? Could you imagine? Just like a month after Carney was there in the Oval Office. We're not for sale. We'll never be for sale. And Trump with his smirk. We all know that smirk because we paused it when we did it live. He goes, never say never. Freaking love this guy, dude. Do we not live in the greatest time? We got Trump in office. We get nothing but Trump for another 3.5 years. I keep saying this. We're blessed. I don't know what we did. The Lord heard our prayers for years. He answered and he gave us Donald Trump again. And we're going to bask in this for the 3.5 years that we get, because there's never going to be another person like Trump ever. And we get to live through it. We get to have a freaking one of the top conservative shows out there on the internet. God, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Folks, it's just a good reminder, as much as we're dealing with the Democrats and the lefties all the time, complaining and shouting at Teslas as they go by, we still have Donald Trump. I'm telling you what, I know I may not show it. Maybe I do. I am still giddy over the election. I know. I know. It's been what, 4 or 5 months already? 4 months. I'm still on cloud 9 over it. I don't think it's ever going away. I prance to work. I skip to work every day. La, 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 la. Trump's in office. So here we go. Canadian's Prime Minister Mark Carney, who secured an election win last month, in part due to Canadians' opposition to Trump's wish to make the country part of the United States, earlier this month, that his country won't be for sale. King Charles III, who is recognized as Canada's sovereign, gave a speech before the Canadian Parliament on Tuesday in which he prepared to reject Trump's idea of purchasing the North American country and making it the 51st U.S. state. Canadians can give themselves far more than any foreign power on any continent could ever take away. Well, that's not true. Come on, now you're blowing smoke up the Canadians, you know what? And that by staying true to Canadian values, Canada can build new alliances and a new economy that serves Canadians, all Canadians. That's going to take a lot of decades. They put themselves in a position to, be reliant on America, basically. America could shut off the energy to Canada today, and the Canadians would cripple their economy in about 60 days, maybe less, maybe 30. Now, you have this here where the Golden Dome, which would stop a ballistic missile, intercontinental ballistic missiles, like a nuclear warhead even. Now, this would have to be state of the art, because one of the issues that I think a lot of people aren't bringing awareness to is we don't have, allegedly, now this could be wrong, this is what I'm just hearing, we don't have the capabilities to stop China's hypersonic missile currently. And there were reports that if China wanted to, and if they had enough of these hypersonic missiles, they could wipe out our entire Navy in about 20 minutes. So that was a report that came out. The US president said the project would cost $175 billion to build, and that it was expected to be fully operational within 3 years. I don't think so. I think it's going to be way more, maybe the initial cost of it. Like, this is good. Yeah, it'll be fully operational in 3 years, but it would be like generation 1. And then generation 2 would be, you'd keep building more systems around the United States as time went on, so that the dome is basically impenetrable. But if you're talking about the entire United States, it might be a little bit tough. Do I think we need this? Yes. Do I think it's worth the money? Absolutely, because that's where our money should be going, is to our defense and making sure that we're all safe. We're all safe. You have the FBI. It looks like Dan Bongino's in the mix here. We always love Dan. Great show. We had a great morning show for a while. Not as good as ours, I gotta be fair. I'm teasing. His show is great. FBI to probe claims of targeted violence against religious groups after evangelicals protest in Seattle. The FBI Deputy Director, Dan Bongino of the Bongino Army, baby, said Tuesday he had requested an investigation into allegations of targeted violence against religious groups after an evangelical conservative group held a rally at Seattle City Hall in response to the mayor blaming Christians for igniting a weekend demonstration that turned violent. Quote, "We have asked our team to fully investigate allegations of targeted violence against religious groups at the Seattle concert. Freedom of religion isn't a suggestion." The Christians Rattle in Seattle demonstration began at 5 p.m. Tuesday on the 4th Avenue steps of City Hall in downtown Seattle, where counter-protesters were also present. I'll be honest, I didn't think there was any Christians left in Seattle. That place is a dumpster, man. That place was carved out by lefty policies here, there, and like nobody goes to Seattle to vacation. You only go to Seattle if you have to. In the same way, nobody goes to LA to vacation anymore. I live here. I don't even go up to LA because it's a dumpster fire. It smells bad. There's homeless people everywhere on the streets in the most touristy of touristy areas. I showed you the footage myself, showed you other people's footage. Nobody goes to these places. You got to get out of Seattle. Some of you are like, Brad, you got to get out of California. Hell no, I'm fighting it out, boys. I'm in the trenches. It's true, though. True. There's a few of us left here in the state of California just fighting them off. Really, it's only me and James Klug currently. But we'll get more. We'll get more. Two opposing groups gathered along 4th Avenue. Streets around the dueling demonstrations were shut down for several hours, but reopened just before 8 p.m. after everybody went to bed, basically. Tuesday's protest comes after demonstrations on Saturday at Cal Anderson Park during May Days USA Don't Mess With Our Kids rally and a pro-LGBTQ counter-protest. Don't you love that? So you have people out there, Don't Mess With Our Kids rally and a pro-LGBTQ counter-protest. They want to go after the kids, man. Police made 23 arrests at the demonstration after violence broke out when event organizers, attendees, and other counter-protesters converged. They will go out and make sure that their voices are heard so they can go after your kids. These people are sickos, man. And I'm going to keep calling them sickos because that's what they are. And somebody, and I know a lot of people do it, it's not just me, a lot of people are calling this out because it's gross. It's weird. It's really, really weird. I'm trying to see if I can bring up some breaking news for you all again. I appreciate you. Hit that like button if you can. We do this each and every weekday morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we bring you the news and give you the headlines you need to know about going into your workday, going into your week, and also going into your next podcast. So I appreciate everybody joining me. Again, we're fastly growing, so follow us here. You're still able to get in during our grassroots as we grow. We have over 100,000 subscribers over at YouTube. We would love to get Rumble bigger than freaking YouTube. And God, that would be great. And well, to do that, I would need your help. And by just hitting that follow button, it's absolutely free. We do have memberships that you could pay for, which helps support the show greatly. But if you just join us, it's absolutely free. And I'm telling you, people always say this. And again, I'm gonna reiterate this. We have the best community on the internet. People always say it, but you guys are great. No. I always say, go test it out. Hop in the chat. There's going to be a bunch of people that are going to engage with you. And that's why you're here, right? Yeah, you're here to listen to a knucklehead like myself. But really, a big portion of this is our community. I mean, that's what we're building here. We're building something different than what other content creators make. They don't know their crew. They don't know the people in the chat. You can ask every single one of these people. I've at least highlighted every single person in my chat once. At least once. I know all their names. Even if they have an actual username, I still know their real name because I take the time to get to know the peeps. And I would love to get to know you. But to do that, you got to hop in the chat so I get to know who you are. If you're curious, we have baldbrad.com. This has all the links to everything I do. I also have TikTok where I debate people live every now and then. It's a headache to deal with them, but we do nonetheless. And again, we have a book. We have a store. We got mugs. I'm telling you, the shirt I own. I wear this shirt so much, I actually have to buy a new one because I've washed it so many times that it's starting to fall apart. It's good quality. It's not that it's bad quality. When I say I probably wear this shirt 3 times a week. That means I wash it 3 times a week. And I've had it for years. Takes some time. What's going on? Is it George or is it Jorge? What's going on, George? Appreciate you. Thanks for saying what up in the chat. See, look, I do call you guys out. I read the chat. And then we also have, I just want to plug, we have a donation tab. Please don't feel like you have to. I'm not panhandling. I'm not begging. But if you'd like to make a donation, I'll put the link in there as well. It could be a custom donation. You can do monthly. You can do a one-time donation. You don't have to do any donation. But I just want to make you know that we get 97% of the money that you send us. If you send us money through YouTube or Rumble, they take a good portion of it. I'm talking like 30% portion. So I was going to say your name did look familiar, but there's also another George in here as well, but a different George. Again, you could just highlight this changes. Appreciate a lot of people have been using this because they just do the monthly donation or the weekly donation. And so it just automatically, bills your card. So I appreciate everybody doing that. It makes life easy. Appreciate you guys. I'm still waiting for my shirt I ordered in January 20th. Really? I would contact them. You're not the first person that has mentioned something about back order. I am thinking about switching from Teespring. And I think that's something that I'm going to do over summer is I'm going to switch away from them because you're the second person, Jason, that has mentioned that. My other buddy, Andy, said it took a long time and it was kind of a disruptive order going through them. And so I need feedback like that. So if you guys are having issues with things, you have to let me know because I'm just going to say, fuck them and I'm done with them. So because I don't have any control over all that. So it's tough because I hear these things and I can't help you. You know what I mean? Because I don't have any control. It's just like, I just posted and people buy product off of it. But if they're not offering a good service, screw them. I'll move away from it. No streamer sells me a shirt I can wear. Nobody has themed Hawaiian shirts. Dave, is that a plug that I need to figure out how to make a themed Hawaiian shirt? Because I'll fucking make it, Dave. I don't care. Well, let's figure out who to raid here. You guys, honestly, people really love us raiding, by the way. Really. I can make a bigger coffee cup. Oh, there's options to make them bigger. I didn't think you guys drink that much coffee. Oh, I can get bigger coffee cups. That is not a problem. You guys really shout out to everybody that goes and actually helps us raid other channels. You guys, them seeing their spike in viewership is a big thing for them. It's really cool. We're the only, I don't say that we're the only creator that does it. We're the only creator that consistently does it to other creators. And they get really excited over it. So I appreciate everybody in there. Oh, thank you, KT Willette. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, I love your show. Pop it in the chat. Love that. It's always cool to see you guys come in. Good morning, Comics Dad. Good to see you again. Shout out. Congratulations for getting a part of the creator program. We're trying to figure out who we should raid here. Our problem is there's not many morning shows for us to raid. So I always see what you guys have to say. If you're over at YouTube, jump over to Rumble really quick and help us, do it in a, don't do it in an obnoxious way of plugging the show. You know what I mean? Because it's somebody else's show. Yeah, we're trying to gain viewers, but also we're also wanting to help support other creators. Nobody's ever rated us. I just want to point that out. Nobody helps us We're helping other people. We're like Trump in America helping other foreign countries. I would love for somebody to raid me, but it's never happened. Boy, that sounded sexual, didn't it? I don't know what's wrong with me. Stop asking. What's wrong with this guy? Let's see who this is. Patriot News Outlet. Oh, that's America's One. There's like all these huge mega people. I'm going to show you my view. All these people, like War Room, right? Steve Bannon's huge. Kyle Sefrin, like all these people have corporations behind them. You know, one here, by the way, there's no corporation behind me. We're beating out America's News Network. We're beating out some pretty big people here. And I ain't even corporate. You know what I mean? Or you're just a guy in a closet. I'm not coming out. Oh boy, I'm trying to go to the chat. Gotta change your schedule. There will be more to raid and more. Yeah, we're gonna go longer though in about 2 weeks. So our show's not gonna be an hour long. It's gonna go like 2-3 hours possibly every single morning. So we're gonna see how that works out. So our show is still gonna start at 6 a.m., but we're going like multi-hour show. I'm restricted to the time I can do now because I work multiple jobs. So I know there's a lot of new people again. So those that have been here for a while, like Brad, we get it. You work multiple jobs. Woohoo. But I legitimately change. I put on a suit and I immediately go straight to work. So I will be out my door within the next 15 minutes max. By 7:20, I am out of my door. Bets, as I remember, no one has raided the ball. Yeah, no one's ever raided us. I've never been raided. I would know. I would get giddy too. I'm like, holy shit, it's happening. Maybe I have been raided. I don't remember. When are you starting that? June. The second week of June, I believe. I think my last day of work is the 6th. So it'll be the second week of June. We'll go multi-hour stream, baby. Alrighty, let me see here. Let's see. I'm just going to pick somebody. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Who's going to get my viewership? I keep going to the checks. I'm like, fucking help me. We'll take you to Pete's show. All right, here we go. Take care of you guys. Have a nice day. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. I appreciate you guys. Always love hanging out with you. Thank you for all your support. All right, let's do this.